Well, that was a little bit boring at the Japanese Grand Prix, so we're gonna talk about the day two now. Well, the Japanese Grand Prix had came and went, and I'd like to be able to talk about certain things that obviously was the highlight of the whole thing, but of course we're gonna talk about the qualifier. The highlight of that qualifier, some people might think, Newton Tsunoda and Lawson, which they are part of it, but it's also another part of it, it's the top layer and two layer, which was absolute mental. So, for 2-2, Lawson and Newton Tsunoda end up being out in 2-2. 40th and 50th, Newty was 50th, Lawson 40th, I didn't listen to it too much. The reason why I didn't, new team was clearly a better driver than Liam Lawson. Yeah, he had the faster in a more sport car, but that does not really matter. Because obviously new team made the blue to choose who Lawson didn't when he was at the road ball. So it was I would have been quite close between them two, but Newton was way up to Max Verstappen. But there'll be some progress in that when we go over to the next long plan. But in Tuesday, oh my god, it was so close. It was under what's the word? At the hundred of a Verstappen. That was right map. I think it was the right map. It was under 100 of a Verstappen out of those top three. Max Verstappen put a sensual pole position, snatched it up from Lando Norris, who also did put a sensual time up the piano, got close to it. But it didn't matter to get it, he had to make it up in second one, I believe it was. So it was very close between them. Lando Norris did break the record that was set by this was the best of battle years ago. And of course, I thought it was like, yep, he got in the bag. But no. Matt Verstappen came in and put in one of the best qualified time of his career, getting started on pole for the fourth year running, and that was absolutely brilliant for Matt Verstappen, and I'm really, quite proud of him. But he had not gave up. He shows no sign of giving up against those two dominant potential contender for the world champion this season, Lando, and not the Piat. The reason why that potential, we will go into that and reason as we go in later on in this episode. So, of course, fantastic qualifying, but we're now jumping over to the actual long point itself. And I actually want to mention about not the qualifying, about the start of that lap one, Matt and Lando. Not pointed that way. They pointed to each other. Lando will attach Matt. Matt will attach Lando. So he's like that. And of course, when you have a car that's positioned like this, it's hard to make it a little bit hard for you to have the get on by. But the first thing you do, you go in like that, and then it becomes like the where the Piaf, I believe he was facing straight ahead. He can't go, or I think he was tilting a little bit towards the land. I'm not sure. I need to check that one of course, but it was like I was prepping for that start. I was like, are we getting Ariana Stalla and Alan Pott type of a situation where Lando was just smashing into Matt by accident or something? But no, obviously that was very good. We don't want to see them two clashing each other out. We want to see absolutely fantastic fight. But for Matt, fantastic star. Even Lando had a fantastic star, and the Piastri, they all were single file when they got up, and they all actually had relatively close reaction time. And of course, Matt was obviously ahead, so he obviously had the advantage of it. But Matt led from the right. It's like fantastic work for Matt Verstappen. But then I turned my attention straight over to using Tsunoda. He did not manage to get the start on Lawson. He got close, but didn't pay off. And then I think we took more the end of sector 2, or just before the hairpin of that sector 2, I'm not quite sure. He got an overtaken Lawson. So it's like, fantastic. Was it down with Lucy for using Tsunoda, but unfortunately he did not have failed during the start he had the better result than Lawson did anyway, so I can't complain about that. So that start was brilliant for the top though, and I also want to talk about the two things I'm going to take from there. It's kind of in the same situation, so the pit stop that Lando Matt within, and the strategy that McLaren was going for. So everyone pretty much went on one stop strategy. I think there's only three driver. I think it was like one on a two-stop. Clearly did not pay off for them. But there is a thought in my head that maybe Matt and the Red Bull was more concerned about Piastri. And I kind of hope they were concerned about Piastri, because the speed, the pace that Piastri did all day was unfathomable. That's the word, I think it's the word. He literally was putting pressure on Lando. Lando did make mistakes and everything. He locked up in turn, I want to say turn 16. It must be turn 16. He messed it up and locked up Piastri before he didn't overtake him. But he also did make a joke they are. He's a shooting one. But you had to cut the corner, but he didn't gain any kind of time or advantage anyway. Yes, he didn't lose a lot of the time. He went down 2.5 behind Matt Verstappen. He did that mistake of a lot of stop for Lando. And Piastri was putting pressure. I was thinking, go for a switch. I was thinking, go switch. But kind of doing what Hamilton and Bottas did is go back to Hungary Grand Prix. I've forgotten what year and what I think was 2018 or 2017. It must be 2018 that when Bottas was the fastest man against Hamilton. So he went up to second place. No, one earlier. So Hamilton switched the place to Bottas, yeah. Hamilton switched with Bottas to let Bottas go. No. Actually, it was Bottas that let Hamilton go to second place to chase down the leader. I think he was Timmy at the time in Ferrari. But Hamilton unfortunately couldn't catch up and switch back to Bottas. That's why I was hoping that McLaren to do the same thing, let Piastri doesn't switch back, let Lando take the second place. But I think that would be fair, even though they are fighting for the championship. I think that would be fair, but at the same time, they can fight anymore. It doesn't matter what switching position they will allow us to fight. But in this situation, try to maximise the result. They should have done that and try to chase down Matt. Doesn't work. Then they should switch position. Then they allow to make each other for the second place. That's what I thought they should have done, but they didn't do that. So unfortunately, with all of that happening, strategy didn't work out for them, and I was like, you messed up big time on that one. But at the part, which I thought some people might feel a bit, I don't know, biased or having really like a debate on it maybe, but what I'm talking about is Matt and Lando came into the pit. Matt came in first, Lando came in second, ahead of each other. Matt had a little bit slower stop, but he was already about over 2 seconds ahead of Lando. I think by now, Lando came in, he had a lot faster stop than Matt. So Matt well ahead. He was well ahead. He was like half a car ahead of Lando. Not Lando came out and ended up being side by side. Matt again half the car ahead of Lando. So therefore Lando should have backed out and let Matt go. But of course they were racing, which was not really allowed to do that in the pit. And when they got across that white line, there was no room for Lando. Yeah, something Matt should moved over and let Lando be alongside each other. But who do that? Who does that? Who a driver in the whole history of Formula 1 does that? A leader letting a car behind you to be next to you, making room. No one does that. So I was like, no, don't say that. Matt to do that is not illegal what Matt had done, because he didn't intimate any form of intention of doing Lando right, Lando doing his own way by going across the dash. So that was his fault but doing what he did, partly with the McLaren as well, he then let him out a little bit too, would you say, early. If they came out early, it would be ahead of Matt, which they late. I'm not even sure what it's the right term. He came out the time where he should have basically gone out. He should have waited a little bit. So that was kind of what also ruined Lando late. Was tough to start for him. But I also did come up with 3 scenarios what they should have done in that situation. So scenario 1, just like what they just done today, just like that. Scenario 2, do the same thing again, just what happened. But Lando back out. So before we go, just before the white line, which is basically 2 seconds, like how much they have to try back out for Lando. No, they, so Lando is next to Matt, half a car ahead from Matt. What Lando should have done, back out, slipstream into turn 1, no problem. There'll be no mistake from Lando. That is what they should have done, but instead of that, they went like that. Third scenario, McLaren hold Matt, hold Lando. Matt don't do Lando goes out, so hold it for too long, just wait for him, trying to go ahead a little bit more, like 3/4 of a car length ahead than Lando go out and be like this, just like scenario 2, just a little bit more safer. That's what should have happened before. With this situation, it's very stubborn. Everyone in Formula 1 are stubborn. They don't want to be doing that. They don't want to be waiting for too long, which I completely understand. And Lando wasn't really under threat by Piastri anyway, so he'd be fine. But unfortunately, it didn't pay off today for Lando. No, it paid off really well for Matt. And I was thinking, don't tell me that Matt or Lando did get penalty from my side. I was thinking, leave it. They're racing. Who cares? To put penalty in, but anyway, they both end up laughing with each other. So it didn't really matter what happened, to be honest. They both, are very, very good fun. So it didn't matter. But of course, I kind of hoping that the FIA didn't get the penalty because it would have made sense. Nothing happened. No advantage had been lost. They were still in the original position. Although it landed overtaken Matt. I don't know what would have happened in that one, but we will never know. We will probably never gonna know anyway. And like the same thing happened again in the future racing, but overall it was crazy. That was the only moment in the entire long plan that made me go, whoa! And I was upset to talk them all the same down. It's shouting for the way for it to be so boring. Then when that situation happened, I wrote back up. I was like, damn, yeah. But it kind of dulled out a little bit later on, and taught Mercedes fantastic performance again. Just weren't that quite to Matt or McLaren, but the feeling fit and shit. George Russell was so close to catch Charles Leclerc. They should need 2 extra laps, and George would catch Charles for that 4th place, but it didn't happen anyway. But George done a fantastic job. Timmy at the yellow done a really good job. He also did get the fastest lap. Not even relevant anymore anyway, but I'm actually quite impressed with them. George is still kind of in a contender for the championship fight, and it's about I think half off from the leader, which is still in a really good place for a chance for George to compete for the championship. But for today, Mercedes is just not like what they were in China or Australia. But that doesn't really matter to me. Because I know there will be more chance in the future that George will get what he wants. I hope for a win for George Russell and would love a win for Timmy Attiello, to be honest. So, of course, a quiet way for Mercedes again. But the other situation I'd like to kind of quickly mention again on McLaren and Matt. Toward the end, final 10 laps. It blew my mind how much time that Lando just weren't catching Matt. They were, some of that situation with the pit incident, Lando couldn't seem to catch up. Piastri was telling him, swap, bro, swap. But he wasn't saying that. I was thinking maybe we should swap and see what I can do. That also goes back to what I mentioned about the snap and shoe. That's what that related to that. But all of that final 10 laps, I was more invested in now because I was kept watching the Delta time, trying to think what Tim Lando do, what Tim Piastri do. They're getting too slow. Oh my god. But they were not really much anything to do in that anyway. But they were really tired. We can see there was a mounting pressure on Lando and Piastri. I think Matt's perfectly fine anyway. But for Matt came home to win and Bolton, Marshall smacked on Rocktorn for most win consecutively in Japan. Matt Verstappen is now a four-time winner at the Japan. That one plan that Matt and love for sure. He won 4 times there, but it's also final day in Japan. The Honda with the Red Bull. It's quite nice to stay to buy to Honda at the home day. And of course, they're not leaving now. They still got more races going on to clarify that for you. So I'm actually quite, happy for Matt. I was proud of him. And of course, I want to also give an honourable mention to Alex Albon and Arthur Hajar. These guys done a fantastic job. Oliver, fantastic job. P10, P9 for Alex, P8 for Hajar, P7 with Hamilton, 12 and 14, but he's done a really good job anyway. Obviously, Charles Leclerc up in P4, which is good for Ferrari. So for Hajar, Albon, Oliver, round of applause to them for sure. Absolute brilliant job on these laps. They've done fantastic. And Carlos said he definitely needs to figure it out for sure. He's not at risk of anything. It's not. I'm not thinking, oh no, he watch. No, I still know he can still do what he does. He's still a very good driver, but it's just that he needs to get used to Williams. Like Hamilton, with Ferrari, they just gotta get used to it, so it doesn't really matter to me. And of course, I want to mention my vote for driver of the day. What that Hajar, he was brilliant. He outperformed 2 motorsport driver, Liam Lawson and Newton Tsunoda. At this point, he done a fantastic job. Now I'm thinking Hajar is more talented than Liam Lawson. But that's too early for me to say it. But right now, that's what I'm thinking. So that pretty much concludes everything. Of course, I want you guys to let me know in the comment. What do you think about the Japanese Grand Prix? Was it boring? Was it exciting? Whatever you feel, your emotion for this Grand Prix, let me know in the comment. And also want to mention about the point store I have stored in this Grand Prix. So I've only got 2 combat are now started to split into way. We only counting top 5, quality and lately don't nothing else, nothing related to prior, but the related to prior is for payoff anyway. But we only voting on top 5 on both. I still involved other things, but we counting the top 5. So which means we only score 3 out of 30, so 5, 10, 50, 20, 25, 30. I've already scored the combat on the over the weekend is shot. But of course, we still try to do better next long time. We're going to be better in this weekend when this video comes out, which will be tomorrow, which is Monday, and then by the long time this weekend, and I'm hoping to do better for that one. So thanks for watching, please like and just like my video to be very appreciated, and peace off.